Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we have the latest from the live radar and for the latest weather warnings, as we do actually have our first weather warning for a number of weeks with a thunderstorm warning issued for quite a few areas across England and Wales through Monday, as we are going to see some pop-up thunderstorms in the heat of Monday afternoon. We're expecting temperatures to probably peak around 26 or 27, bit of instability out to our southwest. That combination, as I said, could produce some quite severe storms. Warnings, as I said, are in force. We'll have a look at those thunderstorms on the latest UKV and Arome runs, also looking at the rest of the upcoming working week, as we are likely to stay pretty warm, pretty dry, but still the risk of showers and storms at times. But it does diminish later on in the week as the high pressure sits right back over the top of us once again. As we progress into the longer range, for the time being, the next sort of 7 or 10 days, not expecting this high pressure to really move at all. We're expecting it to stay kind of right over the top of us. It does mean the upper air temperatures aren't going to really warm up as such. That means that these sort of low 20s are going to stay low 20s. Sometimes with these sort of warmer high pressure spells, we do see those temperatures slowly incrementally warm up, but the upper air temperatures aren't going to be really increasing, so we are going to stay in the low 20s, which in my opinion is actually great. I know some people would love to see high 20s or 30 degrees, but to be honest, my opinion, low 20s pretty perfect out there at the moment, and that's what we're likely to see for the foreseeable future. Still hints of lower pressure reintroducing itself, perhaps with some cooler and more unsettled conditions as we progress further towards the latter part of May, but we've been seeing that for the past week and it's never really coming into fruition and staying in that longer range outlook. So still have doubts over that, but we'll look at that in the second half of the video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you start on the live radar, once again, it's a pretty dry and very warm day, but already we can see that instability moving in for western areas, for parts of the Republic of Ireland, Wales, and into southwest England, especially around Bristol, Swindon, that sort of area. We are seeing some rain and a few odd heavy showers. Nothing too severe today. We thought there could be more activity today a few days ago, but you can see not too much in the way of activity. But nonetheless, a few storms along perhaps a small convergence zone appearing here, where winds do hit each other, allowing that convection to head up into the atmosphere. So I suspect here a bit of a southerly clashing with a northerly, and that's why we've got this line of showers and storms developing. You see it to our south across much of France, much more widespread thunderstorms, and this sort of instability is heading our way for tomorrow. So we could be seeing something more like this that we're seeing across northern France. It could be more like that through parts of western England and Wales into tomorrow afternoon. But at the moment, it's still pretty beautiful, and as I'm recording this around 4 p.m, temperatures are widely into the low to mid 20s, especially across central England. That's where the temperatures are peaking. You see the far west of Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, slightly colder, got some slightly fresher air around the edges of the higher pressure, and you can see where the centre of the high is. That's where the warmest temperatures are, and that is going to park back over the top of us, so all areas are going to be into the low 20s as we head into the coming week. Now, if you go over to net weather, you can see the top temperatures today, widely 24 to 26, so pretty much as expected. Again, not expecting it to go much higher than this over the coming days, probably going to hold around that 23 to 25 degree range. Now, if you look at the weather warnings for Monday, you can see we've got this one thunderstorm warning from midday until 10 p.m. for scattered thunderstorms. So we're expecting pulse storms. We're not expecting major multi-celled systems, but it could occur if things do get going. Scatter showers and thunderstorms are expected to develop on Monday afternoon. While these will be fairly fast moving, rain may be intense for short periods of time and produce 20 to 30 millimetres in less than an hour, 40 to 50 in 1 to 2 hours in a few spots where the thunderstorms do grow larger. Lightning, hail, gusty winds will all be additional hazards, and they will ease during the evening. So a classic summery pop-up storm event where not all areas in here are going to see the thunderstorms, but within this zone we are going to see some quite hefty thunderstorms. It's going to be very close calls whether people see it. It's one of the classic events where 10 miles down the road we could be seeing an inch or two of rain, where you are blue skies and you just see a few cumulonimbus clouds in the distance. It's those sorts of conditions as we head through Monday. Now, if you look at the latest UKV now. You can see the showers move through this afternoon, nothing too hefty, but they could be a little bit more widespread through this evening. Overnight, a few more showers could creep on shore, and then as we head into Monday, some heavy rain through the western parts of Scotland, but really mostly only in the morning. And then, as we head through Monday afternoon, look at this, widespread heavy thunderstorms breaking out, even into parts of Scotland and northern England. So surprised the warning's not been extended there, but widespread scattered thunderstorms, and they slowly clear through the evening. Around 6-7 p.m. they'll start to really ease away, and then into Tuesday, again a few odd showers could develop, but not expecting anything too major as the high pressure centres back over the top of us, and you can see stunning blue skies for the rest of the week. Upper air temperatures are not going to climb too much over the coming days. They're pretty much staying pretty stationary, so not expecting temperatures to rise too significantly over the coming days, but definitely some spots that are a little bit cooler today could be warmer during the week. So you can see here widely into the mid-20s, 24 to 26, as we saw from the live observations. Monday, pretty similar, again, 22, maybe 27. Much more variable, though, all dependent on the thunderstorm activity. Into Tuesday, temperatures once again will rise into the mid-20s, 20 to 26. And into Wednesday, similar, 20 to 26, maybe not 27. Thursday, perhaps a little bit more west-based. The wind does pick up in the east, a bit more of an easterly flow. So the east coast will be a bit cooler, but further westward, still 25 degrees is possible. So that's something to watch out later in the week, perhaps a bit of a sea breeze developing off the North Sea. That will cool things down across those North Sea coasts. But you go anywhere inland, definitely will be up into the low 20s. So perhaps a bit more regional differences appearing there, but generally speaking, still looking pretty stunning indeed. Now, if we do over to the Rome run now, again, this is one of the better runs, in my opinion, for looking at thunderstorms and sort of convection events. You can see a few hefty showers in the southwest through this morning, cleared now, and a few heavy showers breaking out this evening, but again, nothing too crazy. A bit more activity than the UKV was showing, so we need to keep an eye on that. A few of those thunderstorms across northern France do cross the channel here. Again, they do die away, but that's something to keep an eye on. Could be some light to moderate rain around overnight tonight, but generally speaking, that clears, and then we see the hefty storms breaking out during tomorrow afternoon through Monday evening, eventually dissipating away and then leaving a trail of cloud and a few odd lighter showers as that clears into Tuesday morning. So again, on and off showers for the next kind of 12 hours or so. And then as we head around lunchtime tomorrow, thunderstorms really get going across the West Midlands, Wales and Southwest England before they do start to dissipate away. Now, if we do have a look at the longer range now, you can see the high pressure in control over the coming days. Really not much going on. You can see, though, longer range, perhaps towards the final third of May, we do see unsettled conditions return, lower pressure moving back in from the north. Now again, we'll skim through this quite quickly because this is a continued trend from the GFS and the other runs to bring low pressure back in day 10 and beyond, but it never comes to fruition in the shorter range. We get to day 10 and it doesn't occur. So I suspect there's something in the atmosphere that wants to bring low pressure back in, but it can't quite win out against this big block. So again, this could occur for the final third of May and would spell an unsettled and cool end to the month, but it keeps getting pushed back. Initially, we thought it was the middle portion of May. Now we think it's the final third. Perhaps could it just get pushed back indefinitely? Now, the GM, on the other hand, is high pressure controlled, and out towards day 10, no sign of that low moving in from the north. Perhaps a few low pressure systems getting closer, perhaps a risk of a few showers, but again, high pressure in control with warm conditions aloft, and yeah, looks pretty stunning indeed. And finally, if we compare to the latest ECMWF, again, lots of high pressure involved. Again, right into the extended range, low pressure does try to return, but it does really struggle to completely push in, but would just turn a lot more showery there into the final week or so of May. If we finish by looking at the latest ensembles, you can see what I mean about those stationary temperatures over the next week or two, expecting low 20s the majority of days where you don't have showers or thicker cloud. Few showers over the next 48 hours, and then slowly into the longer range. The final third, a higher signal for showers. But again, this is the period that keeps getting pushed back. So we'll have to wait and see the validity of this. Now it's back to the 21st, 22nd. Last week, it was down to like the 15th, 16th, and now we look like we're under higher pressure still there. Cooler temperatures as well, but again, same thing with the precipitation. This keeps getting pushed back into the longer term. Temperatures, as I said, hovering around the low 20s for the next few days and week or two. Again, will depend on sea breezes, cloud amount. That will give a few degree variability to the temperatures, but generally speaking, as I said, low 20s is going to rule the roost. And if we do look at the eastern WF, it's pretty much exactly the same. Temperatures staying 3 to 5 degrees above average for the foreseeable future. Precipitation spikes over the next day or so with some thunderstorms, and then slowly picks up in the longer range. But a good week-long period in the middle there. We're not expecting any rain once again. So pretty stunning conditions look likely to dominate over the foreseeable future. But we do have a few little caveats to that. Thunderstorms through Monday, which could be quite heavy, quite severe in a few spots. There is the risk of some flash flooding, intense lightning, all the classic pop-up storm hazards are there, and there is the risk of that in the longer term as well. But it just looks like tomorrow afternoon with a bit of instability around before the high pressure settles back in, and we look like we're going back to a summery theme for the next week or so. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.